Yeah, I'm just watching, all this fascination on what Jerry Jones said in his press conference and some of the things that are being talked about. It just feels ridiculous. He is the owner of the team. I get he's the GM, but I mean, like the question, has he lost the locker room? It's like, if you go and play for the Cowboys, you better go how Jerry Jones wants you to go. He's not leaving. The Jones family is not leaving, so you better fall in line in that situation. It's different than a lot of other organizations, but that's how it is. So some of this conversation around the Jerry Jones stuff is just fascinating to me. Whenever he gets up there and does a press conference, and how he drives the media forward in all these ways.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Again, it just reminds me of how lucky the Packers are to not have a owner, and that makes me because you just see some of these stuff and the meddling and the comments, and it's just like, man, I'm so happy that we don't have to deal with that. It's not to say that Green Bay is necessarily always perfect. There's always some advantages and disadvantages, but it always leaves me very happy that this is not something that we have to consistently deal with.
Yeah, I mean, again, Jerry Jones can only fire himself as the general manager. So it's like you don't have any oversight really. And then, it's just all up to him. And I do like his comment. He was like, yeah, I thought about not being the general manager for like a split second. And then I moved on and realized it's my team and I'm going to do whatever I want. It's like, at least he's honest. At least he's honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he again, and to be fair, here's what I would be doing if I were Jerry Jones. The exact same thing. I would absolutely be meddling and doing all the GM stuff, and I would not care at all what people say. If I was a whatever bazillionaire and I owned a football team, you're darn right I'm getting involved in the day-to-day operation. So Packers, or any team that does not have to deal with that, you're welcome that I'm not a bazillionaire and meddling in any team operations, because like I said, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
I wish you were, Andy. I wish you were.
Amazing. I feel like the bigger question is Jerry Jones good at his job? Like, and I get that you're the owner, but like with all this talking, like be good at your job.
Hey, I'm glad he's not. Like Fair. It's been good for the Packers for the last, obviously it was point. They were good and he had good people in the building, and then in the 90s whenever they were beating the Packers and the Packers couldn't seem to get over that Cowboy hump, and we talked about that, them winning the Super Bowl. We talked about this yesterday, where the Cowboys got knocked out by Carolina, and that was the Packers' path to the Super Bowl. Yep. So, I'm glad he's kind of not doing it the right way now, because I think it's good for everyone else. And his prerogative, he doesn't have the prerogative anymore. The business now is different than it was in the 90s. He had to maybe put some stuff aside, have a Jimmy Johnson, like have some people in that building that maybe stretched him a little bit, but now he doesn't. Now it's like, hey, I'm making this money. I have all these media, I have all this stuff. I'm ridiculously rich. It doesn't matter if our team doesn't win everything all the time. That actually doesn't put a ton of like money back in my pocket. I might, if I wanted to sell this team, I'll sell it for $20 billion. Like it doesn't really matter as much anymore, which is a bit of a bummer, because I think as sports fans, we want it to matter a ton. But he's just like, I'm going to do it my way, and nobody's going to tell me how to operate.
Well said. What did you guys think of the Zach Tom contract?
We're going to talk about it, yeah, for sure, here in the 920 segment. But I think it was necessary. It's good they got it done before training camp. It does start putting a little, some question marks on the Elton Jenkins stuff and what they can do with some other guys' contracts. You still have the question mark with like a Quay Walker because they didn't give him his fifth-year option. So he's still kind of lingering out there. What are they going to do with him? You got some guys, this is going to be a big question mark with. We talk about Romeo Dobbs. Is he getting traded? All those things. Like this next offseason is going to be like, this team's going to look different next year regardless of what gets done. But I think it was good. He got paid. It was right in line with the Packers. They usually go in that top 5, top 10, just depending on the player, but they're never going to make you the highest paid, but you're always going to be paid accordingly, and they're going to give you a lot of cash up front. So I think it was a good, solid deal for Zach Tom.
Yeah, I think so too. Certainly excited, and of course excited about training camp tomorrow as well. Mason, bring us back to training camp days, day one of Packers training camp, and those, like, what's the vibe? I'm sure there's some level of excitement, but also you're back to work. Like, what is it like in the locker room to just kind of get back and be there for day one of camp?
Yeah, well, you're reporting today, and you're going, and you're going to do your physicals. I lived there, year round, so I actually knocked my physicals out like the week before.
Smart,
so
sure.
I'd show up, a little bit later, just get to that team meeting.
Such a kicker move.
Yeah, it's just a vet, just savvy vet. I'd go hang out in the training room, just trolling everyone coming in, like because they're waiting in line, telling all the rookies, to get to the back of the line.
That's right.
Just that kind of stuff. You gotta do that, but. And then usually you'd have like a run test. You just do a conditioning thing. You'd get out, do a little workout. Those conditioning tests have changed. Early in my career, we were doing 300s, and we were doing like gassers and things like that. And it was taxing. Like you'd be sore. Your hammies would be a little sore for the next couple days as you're going out there trying to kick and do your job on the field.
Mason, do you mean a 300 like you would start at the end zone, run a full football field, run back, and then run back again?
That was some of it. We would do 300s.
That's insane.
But you would do that. You do that 3 times, and it was under time. Or the tougher ones. Those are actually the easy ones, the long ones.
Okay.
It was whenever it was 50s, or in college we did 25s. So you did 12. 25, and you're just turning the whole time.
Yeah,
and the turns are what kill you.
Right, I was gonna say that can't be good for your body. Like that.
I saw someone pop an Achilles.
Right.
Doing it, and not ideal.
Yeah, stupid coaches.
I know. And then you're just tired going into camp. It's like, all right, you're going to find out if these guys are in shape. Like the conditioning test has definitely backed off. And there's energy, there's excitement, and then about day 3 of camp, there's a fight, and then everybody's just kind of like tired of being in training camp, and you're ready to get to the games and get moving. So it's kind of how we talked about it with Scotty Scheffler. It's short-lived, that energy, that excitement. We're getting back to football, and then as a player, you're like, all right, now we're in the grind again. Let's just lock in and get this thing going.
Definitely feel that. Well, for me, I'm excited to be out there covering it, but I don't have to, have the risk. At least I hope I don't have to have the risk of popping an Achilles tomorrow. But you never know. Crazier things have certainly happened.
Yeah, we hope that for you as well, Andy.
That would be a crazy one, Andy. That'd be a crazy one.
I appreciate that.
That'd be a great story, though.
It would be a story.
Yeah.
It would be a story. That's for sure. We would definitely lead off.
Superstar reporter Andy Herman, who does podcasts and radio shows and coaches his kids in youth sports, pops an Achilles on day 1 of training
on the
camp.
sideline. Yeah. I would push you if you were there, Andy. I'd probably try to like bump into you, push you, because that's what I did most days when I'd run out. Like all the media would be lined up, waiting, and I just kind of I just walk through, just knocking shoulders.
Here.
Oh yeah, I'd always mess with Wildy.
I would appreciate it. So I'm sure it would be only out of respect, love, and admiration.
Oh, it's always fun. Always fun.
Love that. Well, I will promise you that I will be out there and covering everything and tweeting everything out, so you guys have as much information as you guys need for all the shows and all the stuff that you're going to be talking about. So I will do my 1/11th is all I can promise. Probably if I tear anything, it's going to be my thumbs, my Twitter thumbs that are just going absolutely crazy tomorrow. So
I pictured you with like casts, braces on your thumbs. I love that.
Probably, yeah. So we got to get those back in camp shape. We'll see if we're ready to go tomorrow. I've been working them out as much as possible, but it's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to hear all about it as you guys cover it on the Mason Crosby Show. Of course, we'll be covering it here on Pack-A-Day Radio. I'm sure Sparky will be talking about it as well. So yeah, we've got you covered, of course, here on The Fan. Guys, I'm looking forward to the rest of the show today. I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy it, and we'll talk soon.
All right, I appreciate it. Yep, have fun. Be safe out there.
I will do my absolute best. Appreciate you guys a ton. Make sure to follow again them over on the Mason Crosby Show from 9 to 11 right here on The Fan. A huge thank you to Tommy for all of his efforts today. Find the Pack-A-Day podcast and now the Pack-A-Day radio show wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and of course over on YouTube as well. Tomorrow, training camp day 1, we're going to be joined by Mike Spofford to kick us off tomorrow from Packers.com. This has been the Pack-A-Day radio show. Enjoy your Tuesday, and of course, go Pack Go.
Contracts are 4 to 5 years. You can get hit by a car.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have
won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nelles, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
Good morning and welcome in. We are one day away from free cheeseburgers for everybody. Brewers win their 11th straight last night. Zach Tom, a rich man in Green Bay, as all the Green Bay Packers descend upon Green Bay today for their weigh-ins and their all the pre-things they have to do before training camp kicks off tomorrow, and lots of news and notes all over the NFL. Jerry Jones just seems like the nicest guy. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. The Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. And he is the one, he is the only, Mason Crosby.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover. We in the transition talked to Andy about some of the Jerry Jones comments, and then he just throws another one out there. Contracts are 4 to 5 years. You can get hit by a car.
I love it.
There's a lot to look at over a lot of years that could make a big difference.
I'm going to start signing my guys, Mason, to a game-by-game contract just to make sure they don't get hit by a car. Because if you get hit by a car, I don't want you under contract. So he's going to take all of his 53 players and just go game by game.
Game by game, yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. We'll just sign each week. How you perform that week will determine what you make in the following.
Jerry Jones's world, baby.
Man, that'd be interesting. I'm for that. Just everyone's renegotiating every week.
Every week.
I'm going to another team. I'm a free agent. I'm done.
That would be unbelievable. Before we get into George Webb and the Brewers, I have a total random question for you because it hit me this morning.
Okay.
You come in the morning, and there's a Danish tray out, and it's got cherry, and it's got apple, it's got lemon, it's got cheese.
I knew it was going to be food.
What is your Danish? If you're grabbing a Danish, you're passing the table, they've got every flavor. Maybe they got a blueberry, whatever it is.
Yeah.
What are you grabbing?
If there's some sort of apple cinnamon, I'm all for the the apple pie taste is my go-to. Yeah.
That's the right answer.
In the morning, I'm not sure I want the tartness of like a hard cherry, a cherry or a raspberry or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need that. I need that apple pie.
All right. I just inquiring. There's a cheese Danish cake
ready.
out in the kitchen, so I grabbed a little slice. But I was thinking, I wouldn't choose the cheese. But if cheese is there, I'm going to eat it. Come on, let's be serious.
No doubt.
Tommy, okay?
Tommy's dying.
I'm okay.
Yeah. I just love laughing when Mitch talks about food.
I thought you were wearing a turtleneck, Tommy, but you have your hood up.
I do have my hood up, and I have a hat on.
Confused.
I got double hood, double hat.
You ever do the turtleneck hood? You wear a turtleneck with
turtleneck hood.
We should start that with that.
That's the poker player thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they rock it.
All right, so late last night, but actually not that late because George Kirby and Brandon Woodruff decided to pitch the quickest first 5 innings in the history of Major League Baseball. The Brewers win 6-0 in Seattle. Brandon Woodruff, unbelievable again. 3 starts, Mason. Dude has not walked a batter in 3 starts since he came back. That's just unbelievable.
It is insane. And obviously just, doing his thing. The Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in baseball. We say it, we say it all the time, in jest at times, but they are they have the best record in baseball. This is insanity right now. They won 11 in a row. A 60% win ratio is just awesome. That's crazy. Yep. This is insanity right now, and we talked about this. Let's see how they handle now being the top dog, being there in that pole position, and being
the hunted, maybe
being the hunted. It is different, but again, with their pitching, with their defense, and then their bats are on fire right now too. Where is the weakness on this team? There isn't one. I just can't see it.
Well, supposedly it's Joey Ortiz.
Runner goes, ground ball, shortstop. Ortiz throws to first in time. Wow, What a play from Joey Ortiz. Takes a run off the board and gets the speedy Julio Rodriguez.
I mean, that was just an insane play yesterday. And like
how
you
about
said,
the hit to get things going?
yeah, I just love watching this Brewers team right now. Everyone continuing to stay hot. Even Churio now 15
Get him in when you can.
How about Churio? Center field, Rodriguez back, and it's off the top of the fence. Yelich sent around third. It's going to be a play at the plate. Young's throw is late. Yelich scores from first base. Churio with an RBI double. It's 3-0.
Mitch, you know what we don't talk about enough?
What's that?
Is how
Jackson Churio?
good Christian Yelich is at running the bases.
We've mentioned it, though. We
But
have mentioned it, but
He's
you're
pretty
right.
good.
He's so good at that.
We were talking about
It's
it
just
last night at
smart.
the house. Like I was watching the game, Mrs. Thunder, and I said, just watch. Yelich is going to do something amazing. And then in that game also, later in that game, right, he's on second base, and the pitcher making his major league debut just, like, loses track. And they were talking about it on the broadcast, how, like, even from AAA to Major League Baseball, the game speeds up.
Oh, God.
And he's
for sure.
and he's on the mound, and Yelich is on second, and Yelich just takes off for third. And the guy's not paying attention, and he steals a free base. It's like not just how good he is at running bases, but how smart he is at running bases. When you add those, when you combine those two, I mean, and we think of Yelich as like, all right, he's a little broken down, right? His knee is not what it used to be.
No, but
his
he looks
shoulder's
good.
not what it used to be. His fielding isn't what it used to be. But man, him on the base, he still looks 22 out on the base paths.
Was just savvy, right? Like that was probably my favorite thing playing baseball was just trying to get an extra base. Just like the timing of whenever you take that step.
Yep.
And you just kind of you have to you kind of feel everyone's eyes go another way, and you're off, and he just does it. He does it so well. And I'm looking at his hits, and it bums me out because I mean, in the last probably 30 games, he hasn't gotten a hit in maybe 3 of those.
He has a 27 game reaching base streak.
It's insane. I think that counts. That counts.
No, definitely doesn't count.
I wonder what that all-time record is.
I told you. I sent it to you that one
did
time.
you?
Remember?
Okay.
It's Ted Williams. It's like 84 games, and he
that's
has
right.
the
Yeah,
most
that's right. You did.
disgusting stats ever during that
Yes.
84-game stretch.
All right,
Yeah.
So we're a third of the way there.
Okay,
Third
if
of the way
Christian
there.
Yelich breaks the all-time on-base record, I will get a tattoo as well.
Okay.
All right.
It's a-
done.
it's
That's a fair deal.
We're recording right now, and
Yeah.
we're on YouTube. Remember, everybody, we're on YouTube. At The Fan Milwaukee. It's the Mason Crosby Show, the Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text Line. 414-677-1250. Again, how excited are you? And how excited are you for cheeseburgers? Like, Mason, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And maybe the burgers ends up being Thursday or Friday if the
Okay.
Brewers win tonight. But if it's not Thursday or Friday, like, do I have to go to get a burger and, like, put it in a box and send it to you? Like, what do we need to do so you can enjoy the George Webb cheeseburger if the Brewers win their 12th in a row tonight?
He'll be here tomorrow.
I'm
I know,
there
I know.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Right,
So,
right, but it's not going to tomorrow's
well,
not
it
going to
won't
be
be
the day.
tonight. It's not tomorrow.
No, George.
If they win?
So according to the George Webb website,
Yeah, tell me the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
so what they'll do is after the game,
Okay.
and again, knock on Formica, knock on brain material, knock on whatever you have around you, knock on a nice bottle of rosé if you got one around, Mason.
I do.
Yeah, I knew you did. And they will have a press release probably tonight, definitely by first thing tomorrow morning, telling everybody what the date of the burgers will be. And so that will be the date that you can either get in line to get a burger, or you can probably just grab a voucher for a future burger because
Nice.
it's, and I was reading up on this in 1987. So this first happened in 87. And I think I've shared this story before in the air. In 1987, I was an 11-year-old, lived in Boston. My grandparents lived here. I was in Milwaukee in April, and I was watching, I watched Game 8, Game 9, Game 10. I think Game 10 or maybe even Game 11 was the day our flight was back to Boston to go back home. So I missed the burgers in 1987 because I flew back home with my mom. And I was like, Mom, I'm staying. Like I told her. I'm staying in Milwaukee. I'm not going back home.
I'm not going back for the free burger.
I'm staying with Grandma and Grandpa. I'm not coming back.
How are you not 700 pounds?
That's why you chose to stay. Was for the burger.
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't get to stay. She didn't let me stay.
She didn't let me. Gosh, come on, Mom.
But in 1987, they win the 12th in a row, then they win the 13th in a row on Easter Sunday, and we all remember Dale Swaim and Rob Deere going yard, and it was like a huge celebration. Well, then in 2018, it got a little weird because the winning streak extended into the playoffs. Like, they finished the season on whatever streak they finished on. They won in the playoffs. And then, I don't know if it was like their PR, George Webb's PR team or whatever, but it wasn't done. Like, it wasn't a great job dealing with it. And so tons of people ended up getting vouchers, but it was just kind of a mess. Like, it wasn't done super great. And so I think that now I think everything's going to be very buttoned up. I think
this is the third ever, right?
Yeah, this would be the third ever for the Milwaukee Brewers. George Webb's dad, Jim Webb, started this like in the 30s and 40s when the Milwaukee Brewers were a minor league team because they had won 17 in a row or something. And then they instituted it again for the Braves, and I don't think the Braves ever got to 12 in a row. But then when they brought the Brewers back, they got the Brewers. They instituted it again for the Brewers.
Okay. Well,
so knock on.
I'm all for it. I can't wait. I hope it's either sometime when I'm in town. I mean, I'm in town for 5 days, so
exactly.
I feel like I should get a free burger.
Even if it's this weekend, you'll be around. And how beautiful is it? And I don't want to. I still want to celebrate last night, but how beautiful is it that Mizorowski's on the mound? The guy trying to get the 12th one.
I know. It's perfect timing. I mean, you wouldn't want anyone else on the mound other than the Miz in this. Give the T-shirts, give the burgers, all at the same time. Because when are the T-shirts? The T-shirts come in August 10th?
Next month. Yeah, I was going to say 11th, so that sounds about right.
I think it's the 10th because, I'm going to be in Green Bay through the 9th was my plan, but I don't know.
You might stay an extra day.
I might have to pop on down to Milwaukee and get a little Miz shirt. Well, I love free stuff.
Hopefully, because you're in Green Bay, you'll be so busy celebrating having won a golf tournament that maybe you won't want to fly back too soon.
August 10th.
Yeah.
Gosh, it works out.
All right, so
just tell Molly.
So what we talked about yesterday came to fruition, right? We talked about how the Brewers went to L.A. and they had Priester, Peralta, Quintana.
Yeah.
They win those 3 games without even pitching Woodruff and Mizorowski. And then Woodruff last night goes out and with surgical precision just cuts up the a 4-pitch inning. What are we doing
insane.
here? It's like he's toying. It's like he's toying with major league hitters right now.
Well, it's. Do I need to say it? But it's because of the beard. Like that red beard.
It's so good.
Is fire. I mean, literal fire. Like I think that's all the difference. He looks good. He's playing good. I mean, that beard is amazing.
What's the NFL equivalent of cruising? Just like a guy who can't incomplete a pass, something along those lines. Like, because yesterday he was just cruising. He had 62 pitches through 6 innings, and they pulled him because he said he got a little tight in the calf, and they were just precautionary. But like, what's the NFL equivalent of just cruising?
Yeah, I mean, from a pitcher side, it's like either kicker just being able to make it it's like everything looks effortless. You can't miss. Quarterback just nickel and diamond down the field, and just that ball just constantly in motion and moving. Like it's impressive. And again, we're going to see something really impressive tonight when Miz gets on the mound. I just cannot wait, and I can't believe that he gets the bump tonight. Like it's just unbelievable.
I feel like one of the other things about a pitcher, like when Woodruff's pitching like he was last night, when you make that quarterback comparison, it's not just like that he completes 8 passes in a row, but it's that he's always making the right read 8 passes in a row.
It's the right choice.
Like when a quarterback is humming, you can tell they're not just dumping it off to the running back or doing
not just trying to get completions.
Right, exactly. But they are always making that right read. And it just looked like the way Woodruff was dealing last night. Like
I'll tell you, that's where Aaron would get frustrated. You'd see him early in the games, and I know everybody, whenever he'd look over at the sideline, either McCarthy or LaFleur, and it's just like, just get me in a rhythm. Like, let me throw the ball that I love to throw. Like, stop calling these plays. Because it's like, if Aaron could get in a rhythm early in a game, like, watch out. It was gonna be dangerous. So it's just like making calling the pitch, like, putting the person in that spot in the right position to be successful. Do your best thing over and over again. And then you're just flowing, and that is it's unbeatable. Like, you just can't stop it.
I know that. So I'm looking at the sports, our friends at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, the betting odds for the game tonight, and Brewers are plus 102, which is basically even. Mariners are minus 120. I got to be honest, Mason, I don't know if you know a lot about sports. I feel like you do.
Sometimes.
And we've taught you a lot about gambling because you weren't allowed to know about gambling.
I do appreciate that.
When you're a professional athlete, you're not allowed to know.
I'm just a sponge. Just teach me.
Because you didn't want to get in trouble. You didn't want to get banned from your sport or anything. The Brewers are underdogs tonight. I'm pretty sure they've and I know it's starting pitchers, but they've won 11 games in a row. What are we doing here? Like, what is going on? Like, what in the...
I think it might just be it's a baseball thing. If this was another sport, if this is basketball or football, and you're rolling like this, I think it's like, all right, like this team, they're not gonna be the underdog. They're going into this game. You expect them to win. They're gonna keep it going. But baseball is just this unique animal, right? Where they still have so many games to play. Like, if they just if they hit just a little bump in the road in one game, they could go and lose a game. And it's, for us, we're going to be like, gosh, it stinks. They snap a win streak. But at the end of the day, you'll wake up tomorrow and they're playing again, and you're like, all right, let's get this back. I'm harnessing my Drew Wagner here, where it's like, nope, it's just one day at a time. We're gonna just plot along.
I will say this: that having talked to Drew Wagner every day, this guy, I didn't expect him to be so happy and positive throughout this entire process.
That's not his thing.
Drew Wagner yesterday called the Milwaukee Brewers of 2025 the most complete Brewers team he's ever covered.
Whoa.
We said that. I dabbled at that yesterday. I'm like, can you say it? Like, this is the most exciting team that I can remember from all my years being in. It's just like, I want to see every moment, like everything that they're doing. Like, they are fun to watch.
From 1 to 26.
I'd probably argue that 18 and 19 were better.
Right. I mean,
those are great
star power for sure. But I'm talking, they just continue to put a new guy in the lineup that comes up big during the game. Anthony Siegler yesterday, Andrew Monasterio 2 days ago.
It's a great story. Like, it's a team of just full of great storylines.
It's also recency bias. Logan Gilbert is 2-3.
Open your heart up.
No. Yeah. Listen, my heart being
closed. Why are you
closed,
so guarded, man?
I'm still a bigger Brewers fan than 97% of the people out there, so I'm not too worried about it. Logan Gilbert is 2-3 with a 3.39 ERA. I think the number that jumps off the page where the Brewers could struggle tonight, Logan Gilbert has 88 strikeouts in 61 innings. Like, he is a strikeout machine so far this season. I don't know if you know this or not, but Jacob Mizorowski also. Actually, Mizorowski, if you look at his ratio, isn't like Logan Gilbert has a bigger K to innings pitched ratio. But, like, are we scared of Logan Gilbert? What are we doing here? Like, everybody go to Potawatomi and just put your mortgage. Don't put your mortgage on anything. Relax.
I love it. Just a couple giants on the mound too. I mean, they're 6'7", 6'6". Like, I love whenever those huge, massive starting pitchers just duel it out for a few innings. And I think Miz just lives for this. Yeah, like, he just has this personality where he's gonna be. He's like our favorite Scotty, where it's just like he's gonna smile. He's gonna give you kind of this wry look as it's like, and then he locks in, and then he's gonna throw 102 mile an hour gas on you. Yeah, and then he'll change it up with a 95, 98 mile an hour slider that you think is four-seam fastball. It's going to be awesome, and I'm here for all of it, and I love it. You know how I am as a Brewers fan. I'm day to day, and I'm just riding this wave.
Yeah, we need a Miz presser of how he's unfulfilled, and then this team will just go off on the most insane run. He's going to start throwing 106 because he's not fulfilled by how fast the ball comes out of his hand.
Yeah. It's just, it doesn't do anything for me when I throw 102. I need more. I just need something more.
Amazing. Cannot wait. And it's like, they can't play soon enough. They play at 8:40 tonight. Leadoff show starts at 7:30. 7:30. Tommy Wirtz will be on the air with the leadoff show with Drew Wagner, with Austin Herdina.
Nice.
Whew.
Yeah. What bet you got lined up? Yeah. Can you give us a little a little hint on like what maybe the Mason Crosby show fans, listeners can.
I promise you, he will pick the money line for the Brewers today. He has been on the money line this entire streak. Mm-hmm. The parlay hasn't gotten hit in about a week now, but we've been getting a little cute with it for sure. We've been getting aggressive, but I'm going to say that he's for sure going to take the Brewers money line today because he's like, if we're going to get plus money on it every day, we're going to take it every day.
Can I say one more thing about Yelich? Like, I loved his second hit, the at bat that he had, where he hits it's that chopper in the infield, and I feel like for a guy like Christian Yelich, who we've seen be a big time power hitter in Major League Baseball, I don't know how many infield hits he has this year, and it's probably not as many as I think in my head.
Brewers lead the league in infield hits.
I knew the Brewers lead that, but it just feels like when Christian Yelich like hits that chopper to third or short. Again, not just like the fact that he's a great base runner, but that he's a smart base runner. Like he is taking off immediately and getting down to first base, I think, faster than pitchers expect. Like that pitcher never should have made that throw yesterday. He never should have made that throw. He makes the throw. It lets Yelich get to second. Yeah. And it's like the play there is to fake the throw and see if you can get the guy on third off the base. And that happened in LA also.
Yep.
That's what hard, good base running will do to
He's
like
always doing that,
non-savvy like pitcher or an immature baseball player, an inexperienced baseball player. You're gonna draw their eyes, and so he's drawing eyes. Even if he gets out, he's getting somebody else to getting extra bases for the rest of his team.
And we've seen power hitters a power hitter hits a chopper in the infield. And they their first couple steps, they jog, and then they run because they're frustrated because they're used to driving the ball. There's none of that with Yelich. Like, there's no ego. Like, he is doing whatever it takes. He hits a chopper. He is sprinting out of that batter's box. He is getting down to first, and it's just so refreshing to see. And I think all the young guys see that, too.
Yeah.
They're
effort always
this
overcomes.
96-year-old guy is sprinting down the line with broken knees. And if he can do that, well, I'm 22. I can do it too.
The stat here is that the Brewers lead the MLB with 63 unearned runs this season on offense. The next closest is 16 runs behind. That's got to be a tribute to how fast they are able to go. They also had a negative 32 run differential through those first 4 games. They now have the third best run differential in baseball at plus 91.
Gosh.
Remember
what a turnaround.
Remember the torpedo bats and the Yankees?
Those cheating bats. Don't forget about those cheating bats.
Right.
Those torpedo bats were cheating. That's what I'm going to say.
And the Yankees were good.
Yeah. The Brewers got torpedo cleats. That's check it out. Whoa. What do they got? Check the cleats.
I like that.
Left some sunglasses up here thinking that could happen.
Chopper, Garcia, spins, throws low, and it's down the right field line. That'll get a run home as Yelich is going to end up at second base. It's 5-0 Brewers.
So originally they ruled it an error. Did they change that to a hit and an error?
I think it was an error.
Okay, because in the box score, he's 2 for 4. Was he also?
Then maybe it was.
They gave him a hit, yeah.
They didn't originally give him a hit, I don't think. I think originally they said it was just an error, but I thought it was a hit, and then the error getting to second.
Baseball's so soft now. It's an error, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
But if the throw's online, I think he's safe.
They give out infield hits like candy.
Well, that I agree with.
Just ridiculous.
Oh my God.
But the rule is supposed to be if you would have been safe anyway, it should be a hit.
Yeah,
I think he was safe anyway.
He was gunned. He
You
was
think
so
so?
gunned. Yeah, no.
He was so good.
He was so good. You're right, because the pitcher's throwing 97 miles an hour to the first baseman.
Gas.
What first baseman's catching that at 97 when he's trying to go sideways?
Seriously.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. 414-677-1250. That is the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. 414-677-1250. What's your favorite Danish? Mason goes with an apple. If I have to pick one, I'm going apple or apple cinnamon as well, actually. Tommy, what's your favorite Danish? You got all the flavors. You don't have to go hunting for them.
You can't say all of them.
I was trying to look up famous people from Denmark. I couldn't come up with anything in time.
My favorite Dane is
exactly.
Sir Edward of
Christian Eriksen.
Flurkinglurgen.
Yeah, Blueberry.
All right, Blueberry's a good one.
You can just say Christian Eriksen.
We are 1 win away from George Webb, so all eyes are on the Brewers. Your thoughts on our Milwaukee Brewers? Miz on the mound today. I hope Seattle respects what they're about to see and appreciates it. But we got to get to Zach Tom, because Zach Tom a rich man. I mean, he was probably doing well before today, but he's doing better today than he did yesterday, right?
Yeah, he's doing.
So did they
doing great.
I actually, before I'm going to ask you this question, but don't answer it yet, Mason.
Okay.
Let's answer. Does he already get his signing bonus? Do they already wire that to him immediately, or does that take a couple weeks to get through? I want to know. I want to know some of the ins and outs of some of these contracts.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know.
And we'll talk about what does this mean for the Packers? What does it mean paying 2 offensive linemen this much, and none of them are named Elton Jenkins? So we'll talk about the Packers when we come back here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Packers, and the Fan Studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. The highly anticipated Border Brouhaha Softball Slam, a spirited charity softball game set to take place this Sunday at the picturesque ABC Supply Stadium in Beloit, with proceeds benefiting Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. All-time leading Packers scorer Mason Crosby will be joined by former Packers Hall of Fame wide receiver. Well, he's a current Packers Hall of Fame, but he's a former Packer.
You don't Packer, why don't you? Why do you correct the
right before I read it? We'll be joined by Packers Hall of Fame and former wide receiver Jordy Nelson and other football stars and influencers, including Tommy Wirtz, promising a thrilling afternoon of camaraderie and sportsmanship. Get your tickets at skycarp.com. That's Skycarp, carp with a C, skycarp.com. It's going to be a blast, Mace.
Yeah, and honestly, after getting a little work in, a little BP with the kids, we're tossing the ball around, just kind of making sure everybody's head they're ready. They're ready. I'm excited about. Honestly, Nolan's on my team because the kid was taking a yard, and I'm here for it.
I want Nolan on my team.
His bat's hot. Yeah, his bat's hot right now. So
nice.
I'm excited, and he's going to run the bases. He's going to go for it. So
well, if it's the Border Brouhaha, does that mean we're all on the same team because we represent Wisconsin and there are other people representing Illinois?
I don't know how many Illinois representatives we have. I guess Bonnie Blair was born in Illinois, so she would be on that side. But I don't know. I don't know if it's an even.
Is Urlacher showing up?
Urlacher's not there, but he actually he played in that the pro golf event that I played in March.
Yep.
And my brother's so funny because he was kind of fanboying Urlacher, which I thought was interesting. I was like, dude, like, what are you like? Why are you so excited? He's like, hey, can I go say hi?
Is he fanboying him because of he was a linebacker, or because he has all the billboards in Chicago for getting hair implants?
I think Reese was going to ask him, but if I start losing my hair a little bit, like, what advice you got for me? But no, I think it was just more out of respect, honestly. It's like, Urlacher he was unbelievable.
He was a stud. He was a stud.
He was a thorn in our side, for a while. I mean, he was the only guy on that team that could intercept Aaron Rodgers. I felt like Urlacher just kind of would sneak underneath and get Aaron occasionally. So, but it was just funny. Reese is just like, I think that's Urlacher. Like, is it cool if I go, just say hey?
Sure.
I'm like, are you gonna mess with him?
Right.
And kind of, I'm like, if you go mess with him, that's fine. But don't fanboy over there.
You do you, bro. Right. All right, so
let's talk about Tom.
Yeah, let's talk about Zach Tom. So Zach Tom, a fourth-year right tackle, agrees to a 4-year, $88 million contract extension yesterday. It includes a $30.2 million signing bonus that is believed to be the largest for an offensive lineman. Before we get into this, what did Banks sign for? Did he sign actually exactly for 88 as well? Wasn't his deal 4 for 88 or 4 for 87?
Yeah, look that
4
up
for 77.
Oh, 4 for 77.
Wow.
Okay,
According to Spot Rack.
So Banks gets 4 for 77. Tom now 4 for 88.
They are paying that offensive line.
$27 million signing bonus for Banks.
For Banks and Laramie Tunsil and David Bakhtiari back in 2020, both were at $30 million. Zach Tom now at $30.2 million for that signing bonus. So what was your initial reaction, Mason, when you saw that Zach Tom signs a 4-year, $88 million deal?
My initial reaction was like, I think it's great. For me, I'm like, always like, lock up your big guys. If you feel confident with that, now you have your right tackle shored up. Question marks, now it's okay, where's Jordan Morgan going to play? Right? Mm-hmm. It's like that becomes like a thought that I have in my mind where it's just like, all right, now is he getting geared up to play in a guard position or that left tackle?
Or left tackle, right.
Yeah, because it's like, and so you got to be thinking they're looking at left tackle because they drafted him. They have a longer window. If not, they're going to have to sign a left tackle, and I don't know where they would find the money to pay a left tackle that you'd want to shore up there. So I like getting that right tackle spot done. Just Tom is a consummate pro. Something that comes to my mind, though, right whenever a guy like that signs. And I don't know, I knew Zach for a moment, whenever he first got there, relatively seemed like a quiet guy, went to work, did his stuff, all that. But I will say that whenever you get a contract like that, I do believe there's an expectation. There's an expectation to lead a certain way.
Okay.
So my hope for Zach is that it's like you don't have to be anything but who you are. But if you're not a rah-rah guy, if you're not a vocal guy, you need to lead by example. You need to push everybody around you. There is I do believe that there is an expectation with those dollar amounts. That's how I've always felt. I'm like, whenever I got a new contract, it's like, all right, there's an expectation to go and perform and do and earn this, continue to earn that contract, on and off the field. So my hope for Zach is that he just, we just see him take another step as a leader, as that stalwart, as a guy that is going to now anchor that right side of that line for the next 4 years. And then you asked before the break on how these contracts work. So
he's got a $30.2 million signing bonus. Does he at signing, do the Packers wire $30.2 million into his bank account? Does it go through the agents and they take their 5% out of it first? What is it? No.
Okay. They'll send you a bill. Yeah,
they'll send you a bill.
You have to cut them a check or wire them the money. But I can't remember. I don't think it's exact. It's not like they have a check waiting for you. Right. Or it's not wired directly. I do believe it comes into that just whenever that next pay period is.
Okay.
So whenever those rookies are getting their 200 or whatever the number is now, 400 a day or whatever, and like
Right.
the next week. I think they usually do it bi-weekly, but this first week sometimes they throw you a check just to kind of get you started. So it'll be in that first check. I think it's within a week of signing.
And do football teams, like, do they ever have to move money, or like, do you always have $30 million sitting in a bank account, or do you have to move money around, like, because you have investments or you have money in this fund and money in this fund?
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not as I want to be a cap guy.
Yeah, you're
I'm into
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
The Packers, and I always say this, is the Packers have cash. Like they sit on piles of cash. They're
do they sit on too much cash though? Like, could they be making more money?
It's invested, but where does that investment go? It's like, again, like if they had, and I do think they have funded out, like they have mutual fund, they have all that, but I'm sure they set aside cash on hand to pay these types of deals
for situations like this.
Yeah, they're probably. And my guess would they like any given year. They get money market, whatever, which is still probably, at this point, you can get 4% right now,
right.
sitting somewhere 5%. They're probably sitting on $100 million, I would guess, at any given time, where they can, if they have expense, if they need cash on hand, that's something. And I don't know if the NFL, I don't know if there's like rules on like, all right, you got to have a certain amount of cash if something is needs to be done.
I'll bet
which
there's a minimum
lot of
number.
businesses. Yeah,
I'll bet there's a minimum number in the NFL bylaws that say each team needs to have a minimum of this on hand, or you could be in default of your
if something were to happen,
ownership of a team or something. Yeah,
all of a sudden TV or media ceases to exist.
I'm really fascinated by this stuff, like how the finances in sports work, and not just like. And now Zach Tom. So Zach Tom gets $30.2 million wired to him sometime in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Like, how many different financial advisors / family members are like trying to figure out what's the best thing to do with that money versus, let's pay off like grandma's mortgage, which is a great thing to do. Let's pay off,
for sure,
and that sort of like we all know Matthew.
Yeah, if you
Golden
come from a place where you
right.
you have some situations with family members or people that have supported you through this whole process, and you're like, hey, I want to pay this back a little bit.
But then there's money. But then there's money. Like whatever you're doing with that, there's still X amount of millions left. How do you like?
You gotta stave off the vultures. You gotta everybody. That's trust me. This is not a woe is me or woe is any athlete.
Not at all.
So I just want to preface that because it's like he's getting $30 million, but there is that pressure. Everyone knows exactly how much money you've made.
Right.
Like it's not like any other business or private company where it's like you make
$200,000 a year, you make $100,000 a year, you make
nobody
$40,000 a year.
Right?
Like nobody really knows.
But everybody knows. So you now Zach just has to. Now you have to be savvy and be really smart, and you have to listen to the right people. Have people in your corner that you can trust that aren't trying to get money from you.
Right.
Like that's the biggest thing is you might trust somebody that has great business ideas and all these things, but there is a price and there are potential pitfalls with that. So find some people you trust that are not interested in getting anything from you. And lean into them, whenever you're trying to make decisions on where to go now that you are a multimillionaire.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Your thoughts about Zach Tom signing a 4-year, $88 million deal with a $30.2 million signing bonus. And before we get to Elton Jenkins, Mason, I know you really do believe in paying the big guys up front, paying the guys who are in charge. It's a lot of money to pay two guys. Zach Tom and Aaron Banks are getting a lot. 88 plus 78 is, 166? That's $166 million over the next 4 years. And granted, there's a lot of signing bonus, and it's not, whatever.
Yeah, it gets pushed out over those 4 years. But that's still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money. Can they afford now, whether it's Walker or Morgan or Jenkins or Belton or whatever this is going to look like? Like, how do you pay everybody when you're, can you pay everybody? Can you take care of everybody?
Well, that's going to be the question mark. And it's just kind of, it's fascinating because again, Jenkins, I'm trying to look up his contract just to see what is he getting this season. I mean, they've already paid him.
Yep.
So what he's not wanting, it's not that he hasn't been paid. So like they have 3 guys on their offensive line that are getting relatively top dollar at their position, right? So that's going to be their kind of decision they have to make. I know Andy said like in the spring, like move some of his money into a more of a signing bonus situation. Like, yeah, throw cash at him, right? But I'm not sure that is necessarily an option without adding years.
Right.
Because that will go instantly on next year's cap.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's then or during the season, like it will go somewhere. Like you have to account for it.
Yeah.
So I think what Elton, like what he seems to want is just some security. Like he wants some cash. He wants to get paid like how Tom did, where it's like, all right, you write me a check. You're saying like if I move to center, I'm covered for these next couple years, and just give me a little security there. Because honestly, I've said this from the start. If I'm Elton Jenkins and you are moving to center, and they're not giving you any security, I'd have a hard time like doing it.
Yeah,
like I'd just be like, you're literally costing me money in the open market.
Correct.
Like so, you have to show in good faith that I'm not. Like I played guard. I got paid as a guard. I got all this. Show me in good faith that like you're not just going to just kill my market value.
I made the Pro Bowl as a guard.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. This is the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. 414-677-1250. Find us on Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee, at Crosby Kicks 2. That's the number 2, at Thunder MKE. And we are now live on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. You can see our mugs right now. Expect miracles? Ooh.
Yeah.
I will expect. I like that, man.
Exactly.
This
was from my niece who's
nice.
doing a missionary, she's a nurse. So she's down in Cancun area doing work down there.
So she's doing better work than like I'm playing a softball doubleheader this evening.
Yeah,
like I expect to go like 6 for 8. Like
yeah.
and like
as you should.
Right. That's not a miracle though. Like if I then go 7 for 8, like that's not a miracle.
Yeah.
That's just I overplay my skis or whatever it might be.
But I just hope you run hard to the bases.
I always do. So you think with Elton Jenkins? I mean, do you think that this could, because I know Rob Domofsky said this doesn't affect things there, but do you think this could sour his viewpoint on where things are, unless the Packers are openly communicating with him that he's still on their radar?
I mean, it sounds like I don't know. Like his reporting on that was interesting because it's like they sound open to talks, but I'm like, are they not in talks right now?
Right.
Like I feel like that should have probably been happening, but I do think the Packers do, sometimes operate in a way where it's like, all right, let's get one thing done at a time. Like we gotta get this done so we know what that number is, and like we just kind of plug along. The question marks again are going to be, it's a Quay Walker and those things, like him starting the camp off on the what was it? Was it PUP or
no? It was the NFI.
NFI, non-football related injury, which, who knows what that is? Because that was unexpected when I saw his name on there.
Right,
I did not know he was
during OTAs.
He was gonna be in a
they
situation.
said that Quay would be ready for a training camp.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, he could show up tomorrow and they could take him off the list right away. Like
I've started on an NFI list,
right?
And I mean, it's for nothing pretty much.
What was it? What was wrong, mate? You okay?
It was great. Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, wait. No, I feel like we want that story now.
Did you sprain your pinky toe?
Did you game the story? Did you just not want to show up to practice or something?
Right.
No, I mean, I was
busy that day.
I was busy that day. Well, I think I started on the list. It was during COVID, so it was when I actually got COVID in 2020, right before camp. I told y'all this story.
I didn't want a HIPAA violation. Sorry,
it was the best 2 weeks of my life.
Yes.
They were doing the ramp up, they're running, doing all that, and
you're like, I'm good.
I swear, I came back and we're still doing drills, and I'm just like, really, man?
How did we not finish drills?
I got to do bag drills with the linebackers. What's going on right now?
So how else are you going to chase down Cordy P, man? How else are you going to chase down Cordy P?
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
He's Mason Crosby. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. Are the Brewers good enough to not make a trade this offseason? And where do you rank Matt LaFleur among the rest of the coaches in the NFC North? We started this conversation yesterday. Those are a couple of conversations we want to get to as well. Jerry Jones running off at the mouth. The Cincinnati Bengals, an absolute mess. All sorts of things to get to yet on today's edition of the Mason Crosby Show. And remember, wherever you are listening to any of your things, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you catch your pods, you can catch the Mason Crosby Show. You can listen by individual hours. You can jump straight to the highlights. Just open up your favorite podcast app, search The Mason Crosby Show, common spelling on both Mason and Crosby. There's no IE or anything. Hit the
Not yet.
Yeah, nice. Hit the follow button so you get every minute of the show your way and on your time. More of The Mason Crosby Show coming up next. It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. That's in excess for all of you 80s fans. Let's see if we can get that. Oh, we got
wondering where you went.
Yeah, I left the studio, and my little puppy, the camera, wants to follow me along. I love it.
We've been struggling with that with the Crosby's Crew Wine podcast. We have one of those cameras for that. And when we're sitting next to each other, and like Molly uses her hands a lot to talk.
Oh, right.
And so her hand goes up and it starts tracking her.
Zooms in.
I know. I'm like, Molly, keep your hands down. What's going on?
But you want to talk with your hands. Like, that's just natural to do. That's normal human interaction, right?
It's just human. She's a human.
Right,
Molly's the ultimate human.
She ready?
Sure.
Is she ready for tomorrow, Mace?
Ready
for Human Wednesday.
For Human Wednesday? Oh,
she's never. Travel Wednesday?
She's never ready for Human Wednesday.
Oh, man. Oof, that's rough.
The most human.
That's right.
No.
We just have a couple minutes here before we get to the top, and we got some Packers thoughts and some Matt LaFleur thoughts. But before that, the Brewers, have been linked to fixing the left side of their.
Don't trade. Don't do anything.
All right, so preach. Go.
Yeah, who would they trade? Like, I just don't. I guess it's like if you just are down on a prospect, on somebody like that has not given you anything to this point. I guess. But what are you going to get for that? Like, if you go and you want one of these guys, players that is going to make an impact and a difference, like, you're going to have to trade something of significance.
That is correct.
So, like, I don't know what value you're going to get there. So yeah, I'm anti-trade for this Brewers team. I'm like, just ride this thing. Let's see where they are. I do think what we talked about yesterday with Drew Wagner, getting like either bringing up some of the pitchers from the minor leagues. You brought up what was it, Henderson, right? Ty Henderson, like something like that. Bringing in does Chad Patrick fit back into this? Like, is that an option? I don't know.
Or are you looking to trade him?
Or do you trade him? Yeah, right. I guess that could be one option as well. But I think when we talked about it yesterday, that made total sense. Like, bring in some more depth in that bullpen just to give some of these guys a break. I mean, those arms have to just already start, feeling pretty heavy. They're working hard in that bullpen. They're just going to need some support down the stretch.
I mean, Tobias Myers has been up with the team since July 11th and hasn't even pitched. He's
hasn't
been
pitched,
chilling.
So
He's been chilling.
Oh, what a gig that is.
Yeah, I mean, just awesome right there. Has not pitched in 11 days and just gets to ride the wave.
He's a great golfer. He's got to be a good golfer.
I hope he's working on this game. So the name that everybody wants to talk about is Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman for Arizona, who's got 36 home runs. And I tend to.
He's had 5 in the last 3 games.
Right. 7 in the last 5 games.
The guy's ridiculous. He is ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. And the question there isn't just, should the should the Brewers go all in and trade for Suarez? The other question on the other side of the coin is, how will you feel if the Cubs get Suarez? Because the Cubs have an opening at third base. Like, the Cubs have not had great production.
Yeah, I saw you post that yesterday.
Yeah. So does that change your thinking if whoever you end up getting, whether it's Suarez or somebody else, do you feel like partly you're preventing the Cubs then from getting that player?
That is actually, I haven't looked at it from that perspective before, because I always look at it from like the team side, like just not wanting to affect chemistry, not doing that. Like, you're not trying to prevent someone else from getting a player, but that mindset, in like kind of the game of chess of like organization and baseball, makes a lot of sense. It's like, can this guy add value? Can he be a guy that can come in? Obviously, he's going to get us runs. He's going to get the Brewers some runs.
Yep.
And if the Cubs end up making a move and getting someone like that, which I could see them doing that.
Right.
Because now that the Brewers have overtaken them, and that's, I think, what we talked about yesterday, the worry about this Brewers team being the hunted. Because when you become the hunted, other teams get a little, they go chasing things.
Right.
They go try to find something to run you down.
They get a little more desperate, right?
Yeah, so the Cubs are probably the biggest worry there. Anyone else not necessarily overly concerned about getting this this one player, getting Suarez, right. But if the Cubs got him, that could really turn the tables. Especially when those matchups come. If his bat stays hot and and it helps them just get on a winning streak like the Brewers are on, that could be dangerous. So yeah, I see it from that perspective. Could be a viable option.
100 games down, 62 to go. We are 9 days away from the trade deadline, which is July 31st. So we will be keeping our eyes and ears peeled to all the rumors and everything going on ESPN, Major League Baseball Network, and all of our reporters and what they are hearing. If
ESPN stops talking about Jerry Jones, maybe we'll get some information.
Well, it's training camp week, so baseball season officially ended for ESPN.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, baseball season's over. It is all in on football. You get hit by a car. Like, why would you sign somebody to a contract? They get hit by a car.
We'll talk about that whenever we talk about the Bengals too, because I know that's like the Shamar Stewart issue. Is like they're like, what if he does something like? Why would we have to? I don't want to pay somebody if they're if they do something wrong.
Correct.
And it's like, well, like
right, but if you pay him, he'll come in.
Let the thing, it's that kind of stuff is that's a joke.
It is bizarre. Where do you rank Matt LaFleur, Matt the Flower, among the rest of the coaches in the NFC North? We started this conversation a little bit yesterday. We're going to keep it going today. It is 76 degrees and partly cloudy here in Hales Corners. High of 84 today, low of 71. Really, I mean, but clearing up. So I said it's partly cloudy, but this afternoon and evening should be fully clear. It should just be a beautiful day and evening. And then tomorrow and Thursday, we get into the 90s. So get your raincoats.
Come on now.
Yeah. Well, you're used to it.
I'm trying to come up there for some cool weather.
No, you're coming up. Well, and then we have Thursday and Friday. There could be some weather situations, too. So we will keep our eyes and ears open. And that's like, right now it's 60%. Tomorrow it'll be 40%. The day later it'll be 7%. Like
exactly.
Those things.
I'll bring the good vibes.
Exactly.
I bring the good vibes.
Weather changes hourly, so make sure to stay tuned to the Fan for all your latest weather news.
That's right.
It is 77 degrees in Hales Corners right now. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Is this Ugly Kid Joe? I hate everything about you, Ugly Kid Joe. Feel like, Tommy, this song is not in your wheelhouse. Is this one of your bangers? Yeah, Mason, I feel like you would like this.
I like that song.
Yeah.
Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah, I believe that's I Hate Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah, that song came out 8 years before my life started.
Oh, so you can't listen to music before your life started?
Just so you're aware, I didn't.
Right. I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew. Right.
Well versed in Ugly
all the
Kid
bum
Joe.
music that's like placed into our station is all from before you were born.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for the record. It's the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. We are living on Danish and dreams today.
Yeah, we are.
Why not? He is Mason Crosby. So a little inside baseball. Mason's going to be here on Thursday and Friday. Are you guys like, do you know what you're wearing Thursday night? So for those of you who are following along at home, Thursday night is the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. You can just Google Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. Tickets still available at the Baird Center, downtown Milwaukee, if you're interested in coming. Are you tuxing it up full on? Are you doing a suit? Like, what are you thinking?
No, I won't be in a tux.
No tux. Okay.
Yeah, I've looked at it. It seems like a little more like business casual, maybe, from past photos.
Yep.
Obviously, Driver will be dressed to the nines, which he always is.
He'll be fancy.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of ties. I saw sports coats, different things. So maybe I'll just go with something a little fashion forward look. Molly will dress me, and I'll just say yes, ma'am. That looks great.
Do you ever do? Because you're a little fancy. You're not super fancy, but you're a little fancy. Do you ever do dress shoes with no socks? Like, do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're comfortable with that look?
I am comfortable with that look.
So European. Gosh.
I'm so anti that look. I remember.
You don't like that?
No, I don't like it at all.
I love soccer, dude. You love
love
soccer. That's what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the first time a former boss of mine was in the office wearing those, and like, I feel like it hadn't caught on yet. Like, it wasn't like now it's a thing. Like it's
exactly.
Pretty common, right?
Back in my soccer days, it's like you wear those like tapered short, pants and all that. Like whenever I was like playing soccer, super lean, all that. Like, I definitely. But like once I started playing football, kicking, doing all that, legs got bigger, all that. Like the tapered leg look is not always my my go-to. But I want to get back to that. I'm going to try to get back into soccer shape.
You gonna slim down?
That's my goal. Yeah. That's my goal. I was having some tea.
I was gonna say, where's your kale shake, bro?
We're drinking. We're doing the thing. We're trying to trim it up here in retirement, but
or your colon boom. You're like that powder you drink and just makes you get rid of everything.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm not for that.
I get a lot of ads for that because I don't know if you guys know this or not. I eat a lot
of ads,
and so I need like Facebook ads and stuff like that.
Send it to you.
Oh, they are. Tommy, you okay there,
They're
bro?
tracking all your food orders.
Are you shocked by this conversation?
No, it's just the grossest conversation we've had on this show by far.
The colon boom didn't settle. That didn't sit well with me either.
No, that's not supposed.
All right, let's talk about football a little
Matt
bit.
LaFleur with the Green Bay Packers, Dan Campbell with the Detroit Lions, Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings, and Matt Eberflus. Is he still the coach there?
I hope so. I mean, I wish he was.
Ben Johnson.
They got the Johnson.
With the Chicago Bears.
Sorry.
I just wanted to make fun of Matt Eberflus there for a second.
You did. Yeah. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I figured we would be. So those are your 4 head coaches in the NFC North. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. If you were to rank those 4 as head coaches, do we have to have Ben Johnson 4th just because he hasn't coached in the NFL before as a head coach, or does his coordinator, and I don't know his history, was he a head coach in college at all, or has he ever been a head coach? Like, I don't know that.
I don't know.
I should probably look up these guys' resumes.
Here's the thing. Okay, like I'm going to go off this article on SI.com because I think it's a good baseline, and I think they ranked. Like coaching staffs.
Okay.
We were doing more, head coaches, but I think coaching staffs in general. And they had Lions at number 4.
Really?
With the exit of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn.
Well, you lose both your coordinators, right? So
I think Dan Campbell as a head coach should be ranked higher than that. But as far as coaching staff goes, I don't think that's too far out there right now because there's going to be question marks. So they have Bears at number 3 with Ben Johnson. Their coordinators are Declan Doyle, offense, and Dennis Allen. On defense, they have some good assistants.
Any two names. You could have made up any two names.
You wouldn't have known.
Oh, yeah.
You know Dennis Allen, though.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, once you say his name, I'm like, oh, yeah, I know Dennis Allen.
And then they added Eric Bieniemy as running backs coach. And
what
so,
happened to him?
Yeah,
Is it like he was a rising? He was the offensive coordinator with the Chiefs. Yeah. He was the next star in waiting, and it just never worked out for him. Like what? Like how does that happen?
Yeah, so his story is wild. So he, he was at Colorado for a long time, and then he went to UCLA as a coordinator, and he went to UCLA because he has a child with some disabilities and some things, so a lot of health issues. So he went to UCLA because they got a lot of treatment there, and I think their doctors were there in LA. Okay. So he went and coached there. And then it's like in Kansas City. So I think, honestly, some of it is family driven. I think he stayed as an offensive coordinator for a long time because of because he wanted to be there for his family more than as if he was bouncing around trying to be a head coach somewhere. So some of it is that, and some guys are just made to be they're better in a support role.
Oh, for sure.
Than being the face of an organization. And he is a great coach.
Ray Rhodes.
Yeah,
Ray
exactly.
Rhodes,
it just doesn't always work out. Maybe he just knows himself, and it's just like, man, I'm not going to keep trying to chase all these things. I'm going to stay in these roles where I get to actually be with the players, work with these guys, and really be an influence there.
Because once you become a head coach, you're going to get fired, right?
Yeah,
at some point, you're going to get fired.
And when you become a head coach, you lose a little bit of that that player interaction.
Okay,
it's not as in depth. You become a CEO where you're managing all of these things, and you're not just in the weeds all the time in those position groups with your guys, really kind of getting the pulse of the team. So, and so in this article, they had Packers at number 2, and they, their staff, obviously Jeff Hafley did a great job with the defense last year. Yes. Stenavich, is cementing himself as that offensive coordinator. He's been, doing it now for a few years. They got Vrabel's their pass game coordinator, and Butkus, is doing their O-line. So
how much does LaFleur do on offense?
It all goes through him.
Right.
Yeah,
so a guy like Stenavich, how
he's managing it more.
Right. How highly thought of can he be, knowing that your head coach is very involved in the offense?
Yeah, he is going to piece it all together and manage it, in a way. I think it's all right, how does Coach LaFleur want this offense to look? What does he want to see it and how it's going to operate? Stenavich is going to basically put pen to paper in a sense, and he's going to create this whole package with LaFleur. Okay. And then he's like a sounding board. He's just like an extension of LaFleur in that space. So Stenavich, if he ever wants to take that next step, is going to have to I would think he'd have to go and be a coordinator somewhere where he has play calling abilities.
For a defensive-minded head
exactly.
coach. Okay.
I couldn't see a Stenavich stepping straight into a head coaching role without taking that next step. Kind of how LaFleur did, right? He ended up being a coordinator, was calling plays and all that, and then you get your opportunity. So that's probably his path. And then they have Vikings at number 1 on this SI article. Okay. And, let's see what they said about them. Vikings coaching staff can go toe-to-toe with the league's best. Playoff success hasn't been there yet, but reigning NFL Coach of the Year Kevin O'Connell is 34-17 in 3 regular seasons, despite having 5 different quarterbacks start games during that span. That is impressive. So now he has J.J. McCarthy and let's see. In addition to one of the game's top.
Kevin O'Connell's dad's an FBI agent. I didn't know that.
Well, that's interesting.
That's pretty badass.
I like that. Yeah, that is awesome. Let's see. The Vikings also have a madman mastermind on the defensive side of the ball with Brian Flores. And Flores led one of the best, most unique defenses in the NFL. So, I think they're looking at it. I do think Vikings – I don't mind this list. Probably as far as – let's just go head coaches. So head coaches, I would probably I'd put Ben Johnson at 4 just because he's unproven.
He has not been a head coach previously.
He's unproven.
He was at Boston College for 1 year, in 2011, 2012, and since then he's been in the NFL as an assistant.
Yeah, I could see him again, now in that head role, like it's tough. It's tough again to honestly pull yourself out of the weeds a little bit and say, I am now this like figurehead above, making sure everything is managed properly. So like, you're not going to just like as offensive coordinator, you're just like singular focused. I am focused on getting this job done, beating and having the best offensive product on the field. Now he has to manage and take care of all those things. So we'll see how he handles that.
So how hard do you think that'll be for him to let the to not micromanage the offense? Because I'm sure he's still running the offense, but like you said, as a head coach, there are times you need to pay attention to other things. Like could he get lost there sometimes and or distracted because he's so into the minutia of what's going on with the offense?
He could, but I mean, I think that's why you hire someone like Dennis Allen, like a former head coach, defensive guy. Like you trust. You have to hire the right people so that you can focus on what you're best at, and then just be a good communicator. You got to speak to the team differently as a head coach than you would as like an offensive coordinator focused on just what you're trying to do offensively. So I do think they hired and they put somebody in place that has a history of leading a team and from a defensive side. And so he's going to just probably allow Dennis Allen to do that. This is where it gets tough though. It's like, okay, I just have a hard time, with track record of, obviously LaFleur's regular season and the teams we've had and like his ability, to win games, putting him at that 3 spot.
Right.
So like I would put O'Connell at the 3 spot as of right now, because
even at 34-17.
I mean, that's 3 years.
Yep.
They've had some really good defensive. They've had some good teams. So yeah, I'm going to put O'Connell at that 3 spot. I put LaFleur at the 2 spot, and I put Dan Campbell at number 1.
Are you worried that Dan Campbell is a product of who his coordinators were, and maybe he's not as great as we think? We know
that is a potential, but until proven otherwise, he is the best coach in this division.
Okay.
Until this season unfolds, and we see what he is without those coordinators, because those guys obviously both took head coaching jobs, are exceptional offensive and defensive coordinators and coaches. If he doesn't have success with them gone, with relatively a similar team that he's had, then he falls on that list. But as of right now, I have to put him at number 1. Just like we got to see him a lot. He's a coach that obviously I never played for, but we saw him on Hard Knocks. Just kind of when he's in press conferences, like what he is as a leader and as a man and as a coach. Like he is a guy that I think like he turned that organization into something now to be reckoned with.
Dan Campbell, career over under 10 touchdowns.
Under.
Over 11.
Oh, nice.
11 receiving
touchdowns. Line.
He was a like kind of that prototypical backup tight end, like blocking tight end for the Giants and the Cowboys and for the Lions for a little while.
Yeah, my financial advisor went to school with him.
Oh yeah,
at Texas A&M. Yeah.
Got it. So he is 44, 35, and 1. That's his win-loss record. But obviously, the last 2 years, he's 27 and 7.
Yeah.
Right. And so he has figured out. And his Detroit. I mean, he went 3-13 and 1 his first year.
Yeah.
Then 9 and 8. Then 12 and 5. Then 15 and 2. I mean, he should go. They should go undefeated and win the Super Bowl this year.
Well, if this
keeps going.
I think it's that. I think it's just seeing that what he started with and to build it to what it is. That to me just shows like that's a great coach, and that an organization backs him as like the coach that he is, because they've just allowed him to stack this up into the right way. And think of that. You go into a situation like the Lions, you go 3-13, and you're just like, how do you claw out of that?
Right.
And to have that systematic approach to get out of that hole is really impressive.
Who did he take over from the Miami Dolphins in 2015 when he was the interim head coach?
Joe Philbin?
That was Joe Philbin. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Joe Philbin.
I forgot he took over.
Was let go after. Yeah, he was let go after a 1-3 start. Campbell then went 5 and 7 And the Dolphins hired Adam Gase over Dan Campbell leading into the next season. Yeah. And then he was an assistant.
That was a miss.
Yeah, that was a miss. But then he was an assistant for 5 or 6 years. Like he didn't get another shot for a while until the Lions worked out. I'd say it's worked out pretty well for him to this point.
Yeah, it really has. And I think again, and I'd put LaFleur like slightly behind him at this moment, just because of like what he's done too, and transitioning from a world class, like one of the best to ever do it, Aaron Rodgers, basically, taking your team from a veteran team to a like the youngest team in the NFL, and being able to still have success these last 2 years. Yep. So you can't discount what Matt LaFleur has done there as well. And for me, I hope that he continues to put people in his space that aren't just yes men. Like I always say that, right? It's like,
of course,
that's the hardest part about being a leader and being like and running one of these organizations as the head coach, is you start doing favors for people. It's like, hey, my buddy, come on in, and that person feels like you did him a favor, and now they are just always in your corner. They're just yes men all the time. So you have to go and you got to continue to stretch yourself. And I do think, I think LaFleur's personality is he's always questioning, always trying to figure out what that next move forward is. So as long as he stays that approach, he's not afraid to put people around him that will stretch him. This, he could surpass Dan Campbell this year if Dan Campbell proves that his coordinators were the reason that that this thing got to where it ended up being.
414-677-1250, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Where do you rank the NFC North coaches? Is it fair to have Matt LaFleur third? Do you think he should be higher? And if he is, who are you replacing, Campbell or O'Connell, over Matt LaFleur, where you think he should be ranked?
Yeah. Yeah,
Tommy,
I had LaFleur at second and number two. What do y'all think? What do you think that O'Connell's a better coach?
I think what Kevin O'Connell did last year was more impressive than what Dan Campbell did last year, yes.
So would you have O'Connell over Campbell?
I think Kevin O'Connell's the best coach in the NFC North. I think Matt LaFleur's 2. I think Campbell's 3. I think Johnson's 4.
Interesting.
I think what Dan Campbell has done has proven that he's the best motivator in the NFL.
Okay.
As far as head coach goes, he had no duties. I mean, he didn't call the plays on offense or defense. He called when he wanted to go for it on fourth down. He called when he wanted to fake a punt. I think he's a fantastic motivator, and you can't take away what he's done the last 2 years. But you're going to say that this guy, he didn't win a playoff game last year as the number 1 seed. He didn't. O'Connell didn't win a playoff game. LaFleur didn't win a playoff game. I think we had a really good line from Bart Winkler on Pack-A-Day Radio Show when he had said that the last 2 years is really the first 2 years Matt LaFleur's been able to coach, because beforehand he felt that he was managing, where Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't coaching necessarily quarterback the way that he coaches it now. And when we saw Jordan Love go down, Malik Willis, half the fan base thinks Malik Willis should be starting right now here in Green Bay. And I wish that was a lie. We saw poll questions go up that are split right down the middle between Malik Willis and Jordan Love. That has to be a product of Matt LaFleur. I think I think if he would have been fired this past season, he would have had way more buzz than Ben Johnson about being the number 1 guy out on the market to go be a head coach. I think that Matt LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell are both cut from the same cloth, right? Aren't they both Washington guys? Well, in that one Washington photo, or L.A. guys at the same time?
Yeah, I think they were L.A.
Yeah,
I think
so
LA, yeah.
They overlap together. They come from the same tree. I think that those guys are much more successful and bound to be successful in 25 in the NFC North. Dan Campbell, we really haven't seen him do it on his own yet. Other than he's a great motivator.
Exactly, and that's why I still put him at 1, because we haven't started the season. So
he cries a little too much.
This is a little too much.
Just the right amount. Love a crier.
It's a lot of crying.
I'm a crier. He's a crier.
But that's what I told you, and actually, I do appreciate, Tommy. I think that's actually a really good take, and you broke it down. Excellent. I put Dan Campbell there because of what I said. A head coach's true job is to kind of get out of those weeds just a little bit, especially because I think you got to give him credit for saying, I shouldn't be calling offense, defense. I shouldn't be doing all these things. I'm just going to be this figurehead and this motivator and this, feed this team and allow these guys to do it. So I do think that's why without those coordinators, like you might see a huge difference there in Detroit.
Yeah.
If these coordinators don't have the locker room the way that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn did, who stayed probably a year longer than they had to try to go and get that Super Bowl last year.
All right, so talking about coordinators and talking about head coaches, Mason, at the end of the day, what is more important, having a great head coach or having a great staff 1 through 12 or whatever that might be?
Gosh, it's hard to say like one without the other. It's like I think you have to have the right balance, and that's what I always say. So just go to the Packers, go to Matt LaFleur, and I've said this multiple times, like, as long as you put people in those positions that you allow and you don't micromanage and you allow them to operate the way that they can and freely, and they test you a little bit. And, I know, like, people are down on Nathaniel Hackett. They like to, it's like, oh, he didn't, do well when he went to Denver and the Jets. Like, those were tough situations. I think how the Packers structured Matt LaFleur coming in was excellent. Nathaniel Hackett pushed Coach LaFleur every day on the offensive side of the ball. And then Pettin was kind of a crazy man. He's kind of wild, but like he also did the same, and he was strong in his own right. So I think LaFleur got off on a good foot there, where I think it's, he needs to always be aware that that's how he had success early. Don't go away from that. So you have to be able to manage everyone, but not micromanage and not try to do everyone's job for him. And I will say, I think, I love Coach McCarthy, but that's where he got into this space where he was actually not doing enough of the CEO management side. He was letting too many voices get in that building, and a lot of those voices were trying to say what they thought he wanted to say, and they were yes men. They were guys that just like he had brought in and all that, and like like Coach McCarthy stopped stretching himself to be tested and get better every day.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Remember, Mason's off tomorrow for Human Wednesday, but is IRL in real life on Thursday and Friday. And so we're just gonna have we called Wendy's yet? Do we have breakfast coming?
Ooh, yeah.
Like what's going on? Like
get us some breakfast.
Exactly. We got to figure that out. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. We're live on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. More of the Mason Crosby Show. All the craziness. Sometimes it's nice for things to not be crazy with your team. Let the other teams be crazy. Let the Bengals be crazy. Let the Cowboys be crazy. It's kind of nice that, as Packers fans, we don't have the crazy right now.
The Bengals always have a little sense of crazy over there.
They really do.
They've had a history of that.
Yeah, they're a mess, and they are staying a mess. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I don't even know. I don't even know this one. I feel like this is the first one I haven't known.
Did you listen? You weren't. On Friday, Sparky was unsure why we are so concerned about the bump music. But
dude, that was.
And I think bump music is a huge
we
part
ran
of the
through
identity
it
of a
with them.
show.
Yeah, Sparky was like, "You're the first show ever that comments on the bump music," and I was telling him like we take the bump music serious on
right.
this show.
This is the
it
first
gets us
stop I've
off on
ever
the right
made
foot.
that doesn't care about bump music. Like every other place I've been, it's always cared about it because it's like it's part of the show.
This is what I go through.
Yeah.
this is your struggle.
This is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Remember the Border Brouhaha Softball Slam this Sunday at ABC Supply Stadium in Beloit. Proceeds benefiting Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. Go to skycarp.com, skycarp.com for tickets. It's going to be a thrilling afternoon of camaraderie and sportsmanship, Mason. Let's remember your sportsmanship.
I'll be a good sport. I'm always a good sport.
Yeah, you are. So we've been talking about the NFC North and the coaches and coaching staffs, but training camps throughout the NFL are opening this week. And so we're watching the press conferences. We're watching who's reporting and who's not reporting. TJ Watt gets a huge deal, and so does Parsons from Dallas. What deal does he get? Jerry Jones talked about that. Hendrickson is not reporting. We already knew Shamar Stewart not reporting for Cincinnati. I don't know where you want to start, like around the NFL, Mason, but there's no lack of storylines of craziness going on out there.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the Bengals to start. So, yeah, you have your first round draft pick not wanting to sign a deal, and apparently it's around something, I guess, that Jerry Jones kind of mentioned, like if you get hit by a car or if you get in trouble and all that. I'm like, I think the Bengals literally don't want to put in the contract that they have to pay their player if he is, has a legal issue or things like that. Okay. Which I didn't know. Like, it is weird. I will say it's weird on his front that they're wanting that in there, because I would say, like, in a contract legally, like, I don't think that should be in a contract, because there are things in place. Like, if Shamar Stewart does something and he gets suspended without pay by the league, then he's suspended without pay. Like, I mean, right. Like, that's how contracts work. So it is weird that if Shamar Stewart is holding out and his agent is saying, like, we want in this contract that if he gets arrested, you're still going to pay him. Like, that does seem weird from their front, and it feels like they're just saying he didn't want to go to the Bengals and he's going to try to go back to school and play for the Aggies again next year is kind of what it seems like to me.
And then the Aggies came out, at least the coach came out and said that's not happening. Like, he is not going to be part of the program. He is not enrolled in school. He's not. Yeah. But it's like, it's crazy.
Good that matters still. At least.
Yeah. It's crazy that that's happening with the same team. That you have Trey Hendrickson going into the last year of his contract, owed $16 million, wants a new deal, wants guaranteed money past that first year. He's not showing up. And then on the other end, Shamar Stewart on the D-line, a first-round draft pick, also not coming in. When you look at the reasons, on some level, I kind of feel like none of the reasons matter. This is just a bad look for the Bengals. Like, the Bengals are a mess.
Are Bengals just bad at is it like person evaluation, like evaluating the people that they bring in? Because remember, like, for a long time they won the offseason like bad boy award, whereas like all the players were getting arrested, like having issues in the offseason, like away from the field. Like, so whoever's there in that space evaluating like the type of people and like the players they're bringing in, just they're missing at some point here.
From what you know, though, Mason, like, where are you leaning? Because you have had statements where it's like you got to do what it takes to be in the NFL, right? When you have no experience and you not to say that you're picking a side there, but just saying, like, you're a rookie, right? Pay your dues, get in and try to make things work. And then now you see, like, the Bengals side of it where, hey, like, does he earn a fully guaranteed contract? We don't think so. And how this is like he's never played before, and that, maybe they're just throwing a whole bunch of other Boulder Dash on at the end of it, so it's not like they're trying to make it more extreme. But, like, where do you lean? I know you're always pro player, it feels like, but at some point too, like the NFL is a business you're trying to get into.
I can see both sides, and honestly, from the team side, I think it is ridiculous if they are trying to put in a contract that if he were to get arrested or have disciplinary issues, that his contract would still be paid out, regardless of what that, like if he gets suspended by the league, like, and without pay, like that, why would the team still need to pay his contract? Like that's part of the deal. But if you put that writing in there, it opens up a can of worms. So I do think the Bengals have an obligation, if you will, to not allow that precedent to be set. Like you can't put some of that, because there are things in place. Like you're going to get paid as long as you don't like get in trouble. Like as long as you show up and you do your job,
don't get in trouble.
You get paid. And as far as like the guaranteed contract stuff is another big hot topic. Mm-hmm. And, Jerry Jones saying these contracts 4 or 5 years. And if he gets hit by a car, what do we do then? Or what? And it's like, okay, that's crazy. First off. And I'm not opposed to like saying they don't need to be fully guaranteed. Do something where like figure out a system, and the NFL needs to do this and they don't want to do it. But if they figure out a cap system where you could give somebody a 10-year contract, but only guarantee the first 3 years. And then like the NBA, they have the option to opt in or opt out after those 3 years. If you started giving that kind of, that kind of option there, then it's like if that player opts out of that contract after 3 years, then all that future, the dead cap, because I know that's the issue, right? The NFL takes dead cap on. That dead cap falls off if the player opts out, right? So, like, there has to be some sort of mechanism, because all these contracts, you've seen Andrew Brandt and all that. Yeah. Like, all these contracts, you might sign a 5-year deal, but it's a 2 or 3 year guaranteed deal.
Yeah, it's not a 5-year deal.
Which, honestly, for me, I am on player side. Yeah, sure. I want fully guaranteed would be awesome. But I think 3-year windows of guaranteed money is that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Like, because there is
why not?
Injury. There is, and a lot of these guys after 3 years want a new deal anyways. They're not getting paid enough.
And they're going to want to renegotiate regardless, right?
So like why not figure out a way where it's like, all right, we're going to do 3-year guaranteed deals, but we can prorate that out on our cap for like double, like 6 years. Mm-hmm. That way it doesn't affect cap. It doesn't just hinder like handicap teams to where they can't spend on other players and things like that. But they are giving a guaranteed contract, and after 3 years, you're renegotiating again and pushing that thing out.
So now then let's again go circle back to it. Is it benefiting Shamar Stewart? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth not playing in the NFL because you won't get a fully guaranteed contract that you feel that strongly about for a season?
No, I think a guy like that, like you're coming in, like they're going to, like you're going to play 4 years. You're going to play that contract.
Right.
Like they're not going to get rid of you.
There's no other choice.
Like it's like an underwritten, it's like a non-written guaranteed contract. Like just because it doesn't have the word guaranteed on it, like how often? I mean, you're probably maybe a handful of guys that didn't play out their contract that are first rounders. Like it just doesn't happen that much. So like I do think, I agree with you, Tommy. I think there's a point where as players, as athletes, you have to say like, yeah, I'm fine betting on myself a little bit.
4 years.
If they're willing to get rid of you, then you're either going to go sign somewhere else, like if you've been performing. But if you're not performing, then you're not going to get paid anywhere else anyway. Right. So like what like why should you get paid for under like if you're not performing?
4 years, $18.9 million. That's what Shamar Stewart is like slotted to make as the first rounder slotted. Like so, 4 years, $19 million.
That's right. I mean, in the scheme of like the cap and all that, that's not even that much.
No. He's just not willing to do it.
He won't do it if it's not guaranteed.
How did these deals get done back in the day when it was like a free for all? Like you remember Sam Bradford caught the bag being the number 1 overall pick.
60 million.
Like I don't even know how these deals got done, and how much negotiation can you really have in them right now when they're all slotted as well?
Right. Well, it's like the NBA too, right? It's like all the first round picks are slotted, and it's just that's what you sign for.
I didn't feel like we heard a lot of chaos when they weren't slotted though. Back in the day.
When I'm traveling tomorrow, I'm going to ask some of these questions. So my agent called me yesterday, and I just didn't have a chance to get back with him. So I'm going to call him tomorrow on Human Wednesday, and we're going to have a conversation because I'll ask him about that. Like, what is going on kind of in that agent space? Because they clearly are trying to figure out a way to get these contracts guaranteed, and they're pushing that narrative forward, whether it's for themselves or for the NFLPA or whatever it is. But and by the way, NFLPA and agents are always at odds as well. So I mean, I think agents are always kind of in that space. But I will have a conversation with him because I'll pick his brain on, like, kind of what the big issues are going on in some of these contract negotiations right now.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And then of course we're watching everything going on in Dallas. One of the ESPN guys, while we were on right now, said on the show, if God came down today and said to Jerry Jones, you get to win the next 3 Super Bowls, but you can't hold any more press conferences, Jerry Jones would probably just say, no deal.
No deal.
Right? No deal.
Why doesn't he doesn't need any more Super Bowls.
Right,
He's fine.
But I need a microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he's a good actor. What was it? Was he in Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean,
Son was
Academy
terrible.
Award-worthy performance.
Yeah.
Out of there.
was.
He just had to play himself, and everyone was like, "Oh, I hate this guy!" Like literally, immediately.
It's so interesting in Dallas because it's so different than being in Green Bay for so long. Like, so being in Texas, Cowboys fans, like, it's almost like a pittance, and they hate how much they have to like the Dallas Cowboys. It's like they dislike Jerry Jones. They don't like how things go most of the time. But then they watch every game, they buy the gear, they show up, and they do all that. So it's almost like this. It's like it's something you have to do versus like being a Green Bay Packer fan where it's in your blood and you just you want it all the time and you need it. It's fascinating how fan bases can be so completely different. Like, I was at that thing in Dallas for that golf event.
Yeah.
And a Dallas Cowboys, she's to the nines, like stars on her hat, like, glitzed out, like all this stuff. And she's just like, gosh, like, I don't know why, but like, I was so happy whenever you kicked that game winner against the Cowboys. I just wanted Jerry Jones to hurt.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
You didn't see that coming, did
But I'm
you?
like, give me a hug. All right. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, I'm glad you don't hate me for killing your team. But, yeah, and that just does not happen in places like, with Packers fans.
No.
Like, they're just heartbroken and they want their team to do great. I think there's like a piece there in Dallas where they love Jerry Jones being kind of hated and they can just love their team at least. And then we talked about devastation in the heart. I think they just need that. They need to feel something. They're like Scotty. They're just trying to find something to feel.
Yeah, they just want to get in their feelings. So much more NFL to talk about as training camp starts. We're going to get into, I think, every day there's going to be Packers news. Every day there's going to be NFL news. And we are going to be on top of all of it here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. It's time to get inside Mason's head. Mason's extra points are coming up next.
Let's go.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today? It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nelles on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
It's a party in studio. I can't wait to be there on Thursday and, just have a little dance party. So
Headbanging Tommy.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. Great couple days here. I was thinking about. I think I'm always kind of contemplating Scotty Scheffler and his brain.
Sure,
I know I've talked about him a lot here these last couple days, but I will say what a wild superstar he is, because a lot of people in his position are very cautious about what brands they talk about and things like that. The fact that he talked about Chipotle. Like, if I'm Chipotle, I'm throwing a bag at him right now. I'm like, hey,
my God.
you must be a spokesperson for Chipotle right now.
Thank you.
Because I'll tell you this much. Like, I like, whatever he said, like, I think we had Chipotle yesterday. Like, it was just like, let's go get Chipotle. I don't know if it was because he said it or I just love Chipotle, but it was awesome. So he is the best, and I just can't wait for his next press conference and see what he comes out with. Something that we didn't get to, and I want to, we'll talk about it in depth at some point on the show, is the NFLPA stuff. Like this Lloyd Howe and J.C. Treader, stepping away from it all. Like, I'm a little nervous on like what is going to come out and what's going to happen next. Like, and what is Lloyd Howe, like he now steps down from that Carlisle group that was the conflict of interest and all of that. Like, where I don't get why he wouldn't have stepped away from that when he took the job as the executive director of the PA in the first place. He had just gotten there like 3 months before he got the job as to run the NFLPA. So I feel like that's something simple where it's like, the lawyers say that there might be a conflict of interest. Step away from that while you're running an NFLPA that's in conflict there. So there's probably more stuff coming out with that, and we'll be here for it. Really appreciate everybody listening, joining the show. It was awesome these first couple days of the week. I will be on Human Wednesday tomorrow, but I will be back with you Thursday and Friday. So continue to listen. Mitch, Thunder Nelles, and Tommy will hold it down for me tomorrow, and I will be trying to get my crew up there to Wisconsin, which is always an adventure.
Yes, it is. We cannot wait for that. We can't wait to see all the Crosbys in the house. Remember, if you missed any part of today's show or any of our shows, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, the Odyssey app, the iHeart app as well. We're going to have a banger of a show tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday in the house. Thursday night, remember, it's the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame and their newest members, Ernie Johnson, Joe Thomas, and the one, the only, Mason Crosby.
Can't wait. We're going to have fun.
Have a great Human Wednesday, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Talk to you all later.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers, live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I was